All right, live and in effect here. Just Max and Jeff this week. Welcome to PSC Sports. We're gonna go over our picks from last week, go over our picks from this or for this week. You know, spend a little time with you guys. So, Jeff, how you doing, man? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How's your weekend going so far?
Not bad. I had to work today, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Bills
well,
gotta get paid somehow.
it's gonna be a nice broken apart week next week when we got Christmas on Wednesday. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe we'll go Thursday. Not like anybody's really listening, anyways. But more to come on times for next week. So
sounds
because we
good.
still got to catch up with our third the third man of the team anyway. So, but yeah, I think I was thinking Thursday to stream that game. I think it might be kind of fun though, since it is our teams.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a bad thing.
No, yeah. So tentatively, I guess we'll schedule that then for because I
Mhm.
think trying to do it Wednesday, I think it's going to be a problem anyway. So with it being Christmas.
Yeah, I don't have any work that day, so probably be a good day for that.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So there it is. We're scheduling it. All right. Outstanding. So last week, you finished 11-5, uh, which puts you at 137-69 for the year. I was 10-6, so I dropped another game. I'm at 135-71, and Eric is at it was 11-5 also for 130-76.
Yeah,
You
you
are at
that one.
66% on the year. I'm sorry.
I'd say that one game that you dropped last week was that Thursday game when you picked the
Yep.
Niners.
Yep. Exactly. But I picked one up this week on Thursday, so it kind of works
Yeah,
out. You're at 66% on the year. I'm at 65, and Eric is at 63. So that's pretty damn good.
we're all close. We know our
Yeah.
football.
Hey, we'd be playoff teams.
We playoff teams. I mean, this wouldn't be bad if we put our 2 cents together and did some parlays. We'd probably make some money on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, parlays are so tough though,
I
because
know they're
we were
hard.
11-5, but there was 5 busters in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some of those games last week that the teams that we picked should have won by a lot and just shit the bed.
Exactly. Exactly. So last week, real quick, we'll quickly go through that. Do you have last week's schedule up or no?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay.
So
So Rams in San Francisco. That was a good one.
that was an interesting game considering that it was like a monsoon for most of that game. I was at bowling, I was keeping, my eye on it, and I saw that Stafford only had, was it like 34 yards in the first half? I'm like, what the hell is going on? The score was what, 6-3?
Yeah, I missed the first half too. And yeah, 6-3. I was like, what the heck happened? And then I heard I guess it was horrible.
Yeah, yeah. It was that whatever storm system they had that produced tornadoes in San Francisco, it just dumped on them. It's like, okay. Now I understand why
Yeah,
nobody scored a touchdown that game.
right. San Francisco's dead though. There
I think so.
are problems there.
Any
I
other
even heard
division, they would
some
be
whispers of
completely out.
Shanahan getting traded.
I don't know. We'll find out. I it would be hard to trade him considering how well he's done. You also got to think the 49ers were dealt a
Exactly.
bad hand. They have a lot of injuries on that team.
Yeah, they got the injury bug bad this year. I
Yeah.
mean,
So,
McCaffrey, and Ayuk only played maybe 5 games, if that.
yeah, Purdy went down with injury for a few games.
And Debo Samuel is he's as I continue to say, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but he's not that good. He's
He's
really
not.
not that good.
He is not. He's a one-dimensional
He's a
player. If you could stop him on that, then
he's an overpaid. What's that guy the Bears used to have? plays for Atlanta, I think, or maybe even Pittsburgh now. But he's a wide receiver that they put in at running back, kick returner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I assume you're
Say
looking
that
him
again.
up.
Sorry.
He was a running back for the Bears, but he also played wide receiver. He was like a wide receiver running back guy, kick returner, real dynamic. But is that 84? I think his number was.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's a wide receiver they put in at running back. Basically the same thing they're trying to do with Samuel, but Samuel he didn't have anymore. He looks fat to me, to be honest.
All right, next game.
It was Cowboys in Carolina. Carolina getting heck, but Cowboys
I thought Carolina was going to win that game.
I did too. I have a lot more faith in Carolina than I did a month ago.
Carolina looked like shit.
They're not as bad as Yeah.
They looked really
Bryce,
bad. I think Mike McCarthy saved his job.
Unfortunately for him and for the Cowboys. There. He just because he didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So next, Jacksonville. Yeah, that was Aaron Rodgers beat a bad team.
Yep.
We'll see what he does this week. It's going to be a tough one this week. We'll get to that in a minute here. But Miami at Houston. Miami's a bad team too, really. They can't get Tyreek Hill the ball anymore. For some reason, the kid can't get open. And McDaniel seems to be just in love with giving Achane the ball as much as he can, which is not a bad option, but it's not winning games. Kansas City at Cleveland. That got poor Jameis, benched. Poor guy. I got a special spot in my heart for old Jameis.
Yeah, he didn't look good. It was interception city again.
Yeah. Well, hence he got benched, I mean, it sucks, but
yeah.
I mean, I keep wanting to say that that's not his jacket, that he's not a, interception prone guy, but he just, it's sad to say.
Mm-hmm.
Washington and New Orleans was what it was.
Yeah, I knew Washington was going to win that game. New Orleans was bad. That's a bad team.
Yeah, well, and then you lose David Carr, which, he was one of your only decent players. And Kamara, I think, got hurt in that game again. Kamara's only good for about 10 games a year.
Yeah.
But he's dynamic when he plays. It's just he gets hurt a lot. Very big, but Rams at the Giants. Or no, Ravens at the Giants, excuse me. Ravens just beat the shit out of them.
Oh, that game was over really quick.
Yep. Cincinnati at Tennessee. Will Levis just can't get out of his own way, it seems like.
He can't get out of his own ways. What's sad about that game is that Tennessee actually had them on the ropes in that first half. It was one of those where a little too close for comfort. Cincinnati finally woke up and said, okay, what are we doing? We need to beat the shit out of this team.
Right. Well, Burrow came. I guess he went to the coach and said, we look like shit today.
Yeah.
It's sure they look like shit all season, really, but.
I'm a firm believer that all of Cincinnati's problem has to do with their coaching staff because Burrow is playing like an MVP.
Right. Well, and I was going to say, if you take Jamar Chase off that team or you take Joe Burrow off the team, you take one of those guys off that team, they don't win a game, in my opinion. I mean, those two carry that team. Tampa Bay and the Chargers. Baker wins a big road. That was and they kicked their ass, actually, if I remember correctly.
They did. I picked the Chargers. I thought LA was primed to win that game, considering that Tampa Bay is here and there week to week, but Tampa Bay just looked really good. Baker is a good quarterback.
Well, yeah, well, especially with Mike Evans. When Mike Evans plays, they're tough to beat.
Yes.
And Baker's playing with all the confidence in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Colts at Denver. I thought the Colts were going to show a little bit more in this one, to be honest. I mean, I picked Denver, but I thought the Colts would give them a little better game.
I didn't think so. I don't think the Colts are very good. Denver is definitely a better team. I mean, compared to Indianapolis, I had no doubts in my mind Denver was going to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson isn't, I don't think, but that's their ball to fumble, not ours. Bills and the Lions. That surprised me. Eric picked that one right, but Josh Allen is playing like, we just said Joe Burrow might be the MVP, but I don't know. Josh Allen has been playing like a man possessed.
I think Josh Allen is probably, barring any injury or any setback, I think he's going to win the MVP. He is.
He should.
He is taking that team. You got to think about it. They don't really have any star players except for Josh Allen, that team. They got a lot of really good players.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like we talked about earlier, Eric was convinced that Buffalo was going to suck because they got rid of, what's his face? Who was the receiver that went to Houston?
Diggs.
Yes. They got rid of Diggs. And it was Joe, he didn't have anybody to pass to. I'll be honest with you, with Diggs gone, Buffalo's a better team. He's able to freely
I think most teams are better if you don't have a star wide receiver. I think if you spread the wealth out a little bit more, you're a tougher team to guard.
He doesn't have to listen to Diggs bitch and complain constantly on the sidelines.
Exactly.
That being said, the
wide receivers are good.
The amount of points that were back and forth, it was, in all honesty, that could have been a Super Bowl preview right there.
It could be, but at the same time, neither of those teams can play defense right now. That could be a problem.
Yeah.
They can both score really well, but Buffalo's defense is not very good. And the Lions are just decimated on defense. I don't think they have, this is talking out my ass a little bit, but, I'd be surprised if they only have maybe one or two starters from week one left.
Yeah.
They're starting to call guys from fucking Dairy Queen to go play defensive back. But, Goff's having an MVP kind of season too, really.
Yeah. I see that.
He definitely holds that team together. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a real deal, man.
They are. I thought Pittsburgh.
I hate to admit it.
It took Pittsburgh.
They're hitting skids a little bit now.
Yeah, it took Philly a little bit of time, but they're rolling now. They're the team to beat in the NFC. Between them and Detroit, you could easily see those two teams as your favorite for the NFC Championship.
I think, unless they meet up earlier than that, but those are the two best teams. And Philly's starting to play keep away too, which is not good. You know what I mean? Because they have a solid defense, more than a solid defense. They got a top five defense. Now. Yeah, both sides of the line, or both offense and defensive line, are looking great.
Yeah,
they're going to be tough to beat because Kansas City just keeps playing with their food. Is what it seems like. I mean, they won pretty handily today, though, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they?
Yeah, it was. I didn't catch the last quarter. I was out and about, but it was pretty close most of that game. I'll tell you the final score. We'll get to it when we get to the this week's games.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Green Bay and Seattle. That went about just like I thought it was going to. Seattle's not that good of a team. We're really not. We're good enough to beat shitty teams, but when a good team comes to play, we just can't keep up with them.
No.
Grading. I'm done with Geno Smith. I really am. The great stories about how great he is as a backup and all that, I'm done. Just give me somebody else. I don't know who, but definitely not our backup because he looked like crap too. Green Bay just basically got a lead and then they just ate on. They just brought pressure and we couldn't keep up. It was
pathetic. That game got out of hand really quick.
Yep. Yeah, as soon as they were able to not pay attention to the run, we were done at that point. Our line isn't good enough to protect like that. So next goes to the Bears and the Vikings. Not a good game for Caleb. He had made some plays, but
I think the Bears gave up. I really don't think they want to play anymore. They are. You got to think about it.
Caleb to Cabo or Book.
Everybody keeps seeing how much of a bust Caleb is, and in reality, if you put his stats next to first-year quarterbacks that are superstars now, he's having a better year than any one of those guys have had. Thank you. Here's the problem with Caleb Williams.
The last 2 years, we've had guys like C.J. Stroud. Yeah. Okay.
I was just saying, here's what Caleb Williams has dealt with this year. He is now on his second head coach. He is now on his third offensive coordinator this year. I mean, that's unfair. For the fact that he's not throwing picks left and right, I would say it's a win for him. And if he doesn't get injured, then yeah, but he is all over the place. This is the third offensive coordinator that he's playing with.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's in 1 year, in less than 15 games, he's got 3 offensive coordinators. That sucks. That's tough.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's tough for any team to gel when they are constantly shifting and different guys are in their ear. No, it's not fair to them. It's just a bad look on the Bears. The Bears are the laughing stock of the NFL.
It's still, I don't know. They don't look good. Definitely, I'll say that. I just don't like his body language sometimes. I know we're nitpicking a little bit now, but his body language sometimes just rubs me the wrong way. Like the whole laying down on the bench after he got popped that one time.
Oh, he got popped hard though. I mean, he was definitely not.
Yeah, that was a nasty one. That was a bad one.
That one, I bet you he's got some bruised ribs. And if you ever had bruised ribs or broken ribs, sometimes sitting up like that is impossible. It hurts. It hurts.
No, I'm sure. Yeah. That was a bad hit. Then the last one we had there, Atlanta and the Raiders. Yeah, that's another laughing stock.
That game sucked. Atlanta would have lost to any other team except Las Vegas.
Yeah. Well, Kirk Cousins is now benched. Michael Penix Jr. getting his first start this week.
Yeah, I don't think Kirk Cousins is too upset about it. He's going to still get his money.
Exactly. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he went for the money. He knew what he was doing.
I'll be a backup for that kind of money.
He wasn't going to win a Super Bowl anywhere. He took the guaranteed money. He's going to be set for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, he'll never make the playoffs again. Unless they're going to, I heard rumors that they're going to release him. They'll still have to pay him his guaranteed money, but
yeah, he'll be like Russell Wilson. Like,
what's up?
Somebody will pick him up for $1 million.
Yeah, somebody, and he'll take it. Problem is that there's not going to be many teams that are going to want him. Maybe some teams that don't have quarterbacks, like Cleveland. Cleveland might take him. Tennessee, New Orleans, the Giants. But you're looking at bottom feeding teams that need quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no real team that is on the fringe really that needs a quarterback. I mean, Seahawks maybe, but I wouldn't want Kirk Cousins. I mean, you're trading an old journeyman for an old journeyman, really.
Yeah. I could see the New York Giants, but I think the New York media would eat him up. He is definitely not primed for that type of ridicule on a daily basis.
He's definitely like a baby kisser. Yeah. I'm surprised Aaron Rodgers has done as well as he has with the media, to be honest. And he hasn't really done that great of a job. This whole thing with him and Ryan Clark is to me, to be honest. Ryan Clark with a burn his ass about something that happened fucking 20 years ago. It is what it is.
Yep.
So moving along to this week, as I mentioned to you before, we'll update the no listeners here, but Jeff's still in first place on the year at 137-69. He was 11-5 last week. I'm in second place at 135-71. That was 10-6 last week. Eric is in third place, bronze medal, 5, but is at 130-76 on the year. So again, all above 600, but some of us are doing a little better than the others. So starting off the week here, ones that were phoned in picks. We took the Chargers, we both took Denver. This guy took the Chargers, having faith in old Jim Harbaugh, and they got lucky and pulled it out in the end.
It was a good game. From the what I saw at the end of it, it was what I expected. I expected it to be close like that. I think both of those teams are very matched up very evenly. Chargers had upper hand. I think having the home crowd definitely helped out, and it seemed like there were more LA Charger fans there than usual for when they played at home.
Yeah, I would. I missed a lot of the second half. The first half, Denver was running the ball down their throat, and had a pretty sound handle on the game. So, I'm not. The Chargers made the comeback like they did because again, Denver was dicing them in the first half, just running the ball down their throat. But a win's a win, and we'll take it. So this guy's up one on the week so far. Houston, Kansas City. All three of us took Kansas City in this one.
It was these two games were hard for me.
Because Mahomes was a question going into the game. Obviously, he played today, I assume.
Yeah, he did. He even scored a rushing touchdown, which, everybody kept saying his high ankle sprain is bad. He's going to be missing a few weeks. But then he played, so I can't see it being as bad. I think a lot of Kansas City, they hype up injuries for the drama and the NFL effect because most quarterbacks with a high ankle sprain are not playing.
Well, I think Mahomes doesn't get credit for how tough he is. That was a pretty nasty hit that he took, and he wasn't able to walk very well at the end of that game last week.
Yeah.
But Toradol is pretty amazing, too, from what I understand. I don't know if that was the case or not, but yeah, I hear Toradol is pretty amazing.
Well, he looked decent. I mean, he made a few throws that were like, you think you're Superman, just should have had 3 passes picked off big time. One of them could have been a pick 6.
Yeah.
But they pulled it out. Once again, there were a lot of questionable calls that went against Houston for Kansas City. Watching that game, even my wife and I were watching saying, I don't get that call. I don't get where they're getting pass interference on Houston. There was no pass. Ready for 4th down, and Houston gets they got a pass interference that was nothing even close to being a pass interference. And then a holding penalty not long after that just wasn't even, it was a phantom hold. Even the announcers are like, I don't get where they're getting that. The only thing I can think of is the referees got money on these games and they're gonna help themselves.
Well, it is an entertainment thing, so they just pick who they want. Stage anyways. Was Taylor at the game today?
I don't know. I don't fucking care.
Moving right along. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Again, it was close going into halftime or somewhere around there. I saw it was 17-17. And then
17-17, yeah.
And then Baltimore just puts the hammer down.
Baltimore just ran away with it after. Well, they scored a touchdown, and then Russell Wilson. Pittsburgh was driving down. Russell Wilson was primed to make it into the end zone. He got hit, fumbled at the 5. Pittsburgh got the ball. Derrick Henry made an awesome run, got them down to the 17. And then uncharacteristically for Baltimore, Lamar Jackson threw an interception. Just a bad interception. Pittsburgh gets the ball, and then the very next 2 plays after that, Russell Wilson did the same thing, except there was a pick 6. And after that, Baltimore just ran away with it.
Yeah, so I did see another touchdown in there where Mark Andrews was just wide open right at the goal line, or at the crossbar there. Like, just ran a little quick seam in the middle, and nobody even guarded him. It's amazing to me like that, how some of those tight ends just get so wide open in the red zone.
Yeah. I think defensive backs are afraid to play man-on-man for fear that even just a slight glance at somebody's jersey, they're going to get called for pass interference.
Yep.
That's why
it is definitely a passing league.
Yeah, that's why so many people are open, because you don't, you breathe on the guy the wrong way and you're going to get the flag thrown. It's bullshit in my mind.
Yeah.
I liked it better in the 80s, gladiator sport.
Take them fucking dripping off your hands? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one going here. So Philadelphia at Washington. Washington is a 3-point underdog here at home. As I mentioned before, Philly, I think, is one of the best teams in the league. I got Philly in this one. I think I
got Philly also,
but that doesn't matter.
The Philly train is rolling pretty good right now. Yeah, Philadelphia for me.
Yeah, it is, and just hopefully their coach can keep it together, because he's kind of a fucking wild card.
Yeah.
Cleveland at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a touchdown favorite at home in this one. I got the Bengals.
I got the Bengals
DTR.
also. Yeah.
The Giants at Atlanta. Who really gives a shit is another one. Oh, I forgot the thing. Oh well. So yeah, Giants at Atlanta.
They both suck. I would put this a 1 on my confidence pool, but I'm going to go with Atlanta just for the fact that the Giants are just so bad.
No, exactly. I went with Atlanta too. Oh well, too late to do this. So let's see, next Detroit. I don't have a line on this one because Chicago played Monday night, but I got Detroit in this one though.
I got Detroit too. I don't see any other way. No, you got to pick Detroit on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Arizona at Carolina. Carolina is a 4-point underdog at home in this one.
This one had me a little scratching my head. If Carolina wasn't so bad against Dallas last week and just horrible at home, I would pick Carolina, but I think I'm going to go with Arizona on this one.
I got Carolina, so this is another one we disagree on. This is a pivotal game here.
Yeah.
Now, I just don't. Don't trust Kyler Murray. I think he's mailed it in on the year already.
Yeah, I just
We'll
don't
see.
trust Carolina either because you don't know what you're going to get.
Right. Oh, exactly. Here's another one who really gives a shit. Tennessee at Indy. Indy is a 4.5-point favorite at home in this one. But I don't really. I mean, I picked Indy, but I don't trust them.
Either do I, but I picked them anyways because they're at home. It's the only reason I picked them.
Tennessee's going to sneak a good defense. Rams at the Jets. We'll see how Aaron Rodgers does after a win last week. Jets are 3.5-point dogs in this one, though. But
I like the Rams in
Rams.
this one. I got the Rams.
Yeah, I just I don't know, back-to-back weeks. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has got it.
No.
I think I already know you're picking this one. But New England at Buffalo. Buffalo is a 2-touchdown favorite at home in this one.
Yeah, I got Buffalo on this one.
Yeah. I'm Buffalo on the points, to be honest with you. But San Francisco at Miami. Miami is a 1.5 favorite at home.
I'm going with Miami on this one. Miami is a different team at home. They could score points, and San Francisco just hasn't shown that they have anything going for them. They had that one win against the Bears, but it was against the Bears. Everything after that has been just horseshit.
Well, yeah, and like we were talking about off air, they're just decimated on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Even that running back that they're 4-string running back that was even playing well. I think he's out this week too. I think. There's problems in San Francisco. A doctor or something, but so Sunday night we have Tampa Bay at Dallas. Dallas is a 4-point dog at home in this one. I got Tampa.
I got Tampa Bay. I like Tampa in this one.
Yeah. I don't trust Dallas. Monday night, we have Saints at Green Bay. Green Bay.
Yeah, I've got Green
13.5
Green Bay
favorite
all the way in this one.
Yeah, me as well. Vikings at Seattle. I got the Vikings. I think this is going to be a lot like when they played Green Bay.
I got the Vikings. I like the Vikings in this one.
I think it's going to be an ass kicking. Yeah. I still don't completely believe in the Vikings, but at the same time, they keep winning. I mean, it's hard to really bet against them. I mean, they got the third best record in the league, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean they're tied with Detroit right now for the tops of the North.
And do they play Detroit in the last week of the season, or have they already played twice?
No, they have to play them one more time. I think it's the last week. I think you might be right. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, because
yeah, I believe it is. Hold on, let me go to week 18. That's the last week. It's Minnesota at Detroit. That might be a primetime game, depending on where they're at in the standings.
Well, they're both going to win because the game before Green Bay or New Orleans at Green Bay, so they should both pick up wins this week.
Yeah,
that could be for all the marbles.
I mean, good game.
Last game that we have here, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Raiders. Again, who gives a shit? I got Jacksonville though.
I got Jacksonville also.
I don't know how AP keeps his job, besides the fact that they haven't had any stability at coach in the last 5 years.
Right.
But he's just, I get the players like him and all, but they don't win and they're not good.
No, they're not.
So I think he deserves to be fired, but I don't know if he's going to get fired though. That's the whole thing.
Well, from what I heard, Tom Brady wants to put his 2 cents in since he's a minority owner. So we'll It all depends on what Mark Davis, how well he listens to Brady, but I think the
I heard
Raiders are
they're
a
pretty
very
close
long
though.
way. What's up?
Oh, they're a long ways away. No, Brady and the coach or the other owner. I heard they're pretty, pretty close though.
I think so. The Raiders organization I don't know. I think any team that is left Oakland and go to Vegas, I can't. It just doesn't sit well with me. Like when the A's are going to Vegas.
Oakland's pretty shitty though. Like it's not a good area, and
No.
it sounds like the city is shitty too. Like they don't want to help out their sports franchises.
They got shitty owners. They got cheap ass owners.
Well, yeah, the owner of the A's is a dick.
Yes, he is.
Seems like just a money grubbing fuck.
Yeah, you typical kid with the silver spoon up his ass.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not more owners like that. To be honest with you, now that the league's close to 100 years old.
Yeah.
Like you say, I mean, do the McCaskey kids even want to keep the team, or are they into other shit?
I don't know. They kind of have egos with them, so they might. I would love for them to sell it, but that is a heavy wish to go for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's the McCaskey's business, though, right? Like they don't own anything else; they just own the Bears, right?
Yeah. They're still taking success over their grandfather. I mean, in all honesty, they had this whole thing. George Halas was leaving the team to his son. His son was going to run the team. His son was primed to run the team. However, he had a massive heart attack, and died at the age of 57 in 1979. So George Halas was forced to give it to his daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, he was forced to give it to his daughter. That the team went to his daughter, who was married to a McCaskey, and he took over the team, thinking that because
so this fell into their lap.
What's up?
This fell into their lap.
It fell into their lap, and Virginia's husband.
Oh my God! I didn't know that.
He took over because he felt he could run the team, and it worked in the 80s. But there's a whole story that's going on in Chicago about how George Halas personally hired Mike Ditka, but the general manager did not want Ditka. He absolutely hated Ditka. He hated the idea of Ditka. So he resigned. He ended up resigning from the Bears as soon as Ditka was hired.
Was he the GM when he played for them? Had he been a GM that long or no?
No, he wasn't. But he knew Ditka's reputation, and it was one of those where he knew Ditka was a horrible teammate. He wasn't good with the press. He was like the one coach that would ruffle feathers just to help his own ego out, almost like a Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is one of those guys that just doesn't care. He says what he says.
Dan Campbell's great.
He is, and everybody thought Ditka was great except management, because Ditka refused to listen to anybody. That's why him and Buddy Ryan butted heads, because Ditka wanted full control, even though George Halas had it in his contract.
No, Buddy Ryan. Sorry.
George Halas had in Buddy Ryan's contract that he could not get fired unless he could resign or go to a different job, but Ditka was not able to fire him, and it did not sit well with Ditka.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
And the reason they did that is because the defense who was coming together the defense who was coming together in the 80s, the 85 Bears defense, they got together and wrote a letter to George Halas stating that they they want to keep Buddy Ryan around. And George Halas thought that was the best thing on the planet, that his players rally together to keep their coach. So Halas made it official that he could not get fired by Ditka.
When did he die?
Halas died in 83, right after he hired Mike Ditka.
Okay, see, okay. Before I was really paying attention. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I guess I never really Go ahead.
After he died, it went to Virginia, and she appointed her husband to run the team. You know, she owned the team. She was the owner, chairman, but she had her husband run the team, and then her sons as presidents of the team after that. And it's just been a shit show ever since.
And she passed?
No, she's still alive. She'll be 102 in January 5th.
I'm sorry. I didn't put the two. I smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah.
She's Virginia McCaskey because she was Virginia
Halas. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Again, takes me a minute sometimes.
Yeah. So she owns the team still. She's 102. She's still alive.
Well, that's how Jed York got the 49ers. He married DeBartolo's daughter.
Yep.
DeBartolo got in trouble for insider trading or some shit, but that's how York got the power in San Francisco.
Yes.
But he's doing a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he lets his presidents and general managers actually do their job and hire the right people. McCaskey, right. Georgie boy.
Like I said, his son seems like he gives a shit too.
Yeah. You know, the Bears have had only one winning season since 2013 when George took over.
And you let Jay Cutler go.
He hired a coach from the Canadian Football League to take over as the head coach.
Is that where he came from? I was always wondering where he came from.
Yeah, Mark Trestman was a Canadian Football League coach for the Montreal Alouettes.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't go too well.
Now, where'd you guys get? Where'd you guys get your coach now? Where did he come from? I don't know his
Thomas Brown or Eberflus.
No, your coach, or no, the fired coach. Yeah, Eberflus.
Oh, he was the defensive coordinator for the Colts, and you want to hear the fucked up thing about that? The reports came out that if he wasn't hired by the Bears, the Colts were going to fire him at the end of the season. Yeah, the Bears hired a guy that was going to get canned by his own team. Pick. That's the most Bears thing
coach.
Ever. Yeah. But Ryan Poles wanted this guy, and the reason he wanted him is because he had a guy that was going to listen to everything he said and not put up a fuss or want to control his own team. It's been a shit show. It's a shit show. If Poles is still
get fired,
no, but he probably will be.
You think he will be okay?
Which I predicted that. I predicted that when we started the season in the beginning of the year when we had our podcast and we were talking about it. I said the Bears are going to do the same thing that they always do. They're going to draft a quarterback, and then they're going to suck, which they do. Then they're going to fire their head coach and their general manager, and they're going to start all over again. Except they're going to hire a guy that doesn't want Caleb Williams as their quarterback, and in 2 years they're going to do this all over again.
So your interim's not going to stay? You don't think he's going to get hired?
No, I don't. No.
Is that the right guy, or?
I think everybody on the team is going to get canned. I think they're all gone. I think they're all gone. I think they're starting fresh from the beginning.
Well, they deserve to be fired. I mean,
they do.
What
it is everybody said, okay, how are the Bears? They fired their coach who was really bad, but they seem to be worse. And it goes to show you that Matt Eberflus not only couldn't coach, but he also couldn't hire his own staff because the staff that he hired to be underneath him absolutely sucks.
He's a defensive.
Yeah.
Seemed like your defense was good, at least. I mean, your offense was horrible, but I mean, your defense seemed like it played well.
They were
But,
until
I mean, they should.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but everything fell apart ever since that Washington game.
Oh, the one where your guy was yucking it up with the crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah, something happened.
I don't know.
You know, maybe the football gods just came down on you guys and said, "Hey, that's not how we do shit. You guys are gonna pay."
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, they suck, and it is what it is. But I was right.
It's always next year.
Eric thought they were going to have a winning season. I think he picked them at 9-8, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I thought they were going to be good too.
Yeah, I had them at 6-10 with no chances of making the playoffs. You know,
did I even get 6-10?
I don't think they're going to do it either. But I didn't think they were going to be that good. I just based on their history, I knew they were going to fall apart and start all over again.
Well, and you were right too. We were reading the paper too much, or at least I was. I was reading the paper too much. I mean, number one pick, 3 great wide receivers, solid defense. I mean, on paper, you guys should have been great.
Should have been, but I honestly think that they should have fired the coach and the general manager after the end of the season last year and started fresh, knowing that you're going to have the number 1 overall pick and you're going to get a quarterback. Have everybody start fresh together. They could have gotten somebody and worked, you know, in unison. Now they got to do this. Now Caleb Williams will be on his 3rd head coach and his 4th offensive coordinator to start the season.
Yeah. And that's tough.
And in 1 year's time, he'll have 4 offensive coordinators. That fucking sucks.
Yeah. Especially for a new guy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're breaking him already because you got too many different guys in his head and he's not sure on what is right and what is wrong anymore.
Yep. So what does that do? Go back to the hero ball that you know how to play.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have an offensive line to protect him, you know, so he's
run for his life.
He's got nothing to work with, and he's got guys dropping passes. I mean, Keenan Allen dropped 4 passes last week. It was insane.
Right in his hands too. Right
in his hands. He just dropped it, and then you could see from that moment on, Caleb Williams just got flustered, and then it went to shit after that.
Does he seem to be a good teammate, Keenan Allen? Does he seem to be like he's a good guy, or is he kind of a fuck?
Players like him. You know, he acts like kind of like a coach. You know, he does his thing, but when it comes to the media and stuff, he's private. He doesn't do a lot of talking, but no complaints from teammates and stuff.
Okay, so it seems like he's at least a decent team. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see how much he's going to want for next year. You know, if it's a decent price, it might be worth it. You know, but at the same time, I think he's going to be on a different team, especially since they got Rome, who's starting to come into his own at this point.
Yeah, he had a good rookie season, I would say. For a wide receiver, he had a pretty good season, it seemed like.
Yeah, for another guy that's had 3 offensive coordinators.
Right. Never really broke out to be the number 1, but he seemed like he was solid definitely solid for a rookie.
Yeah, nobody expected him to be number 1. Everybody figured he would be the number 3. You know, he's a rookie quarterback. And he's had a decent rookie year. I think he's got over 600 yards receiving already. You know, rookie year, that's not bad, especially for a number 3 receiver.
No. Yeah. And he's had a couple of big games for you too.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, a lot of good games. I'll tell you what he's got right now. So, in terms of Caleb Williams, he's primed. He's already set the Bears rookie franchise record for most yards in rookie season. I mean, he holds that record for the Bears. He's
Right.
just shy of 3,000. He should have 3,000 tomorrow. He's only thrown 5 interceptions. In fact, he has the NFL record for the most consecutive passes without throwing an interception, which is impressive for a rookie.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
With no offensive line.
Your leading receiver is DJ Moore with 758 yards and 5 touchdowns. Rome Odunze has 624 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he's averaging 13.28 yards per catch. He leads the team on that.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
So he is second on receiving. Problem with the Bears is that, and what bothers me is this was a Ryan Poles thing. He doesn't want to sign what's his face that's on Detroit. Why am I drawing a blank here? He just got injured last week.
Coach?
What's up?
Oh, the running back, David Montgomery.
Montgomery, yeah. We had him. He wanted a certain amount of money. They said, no, we're not paying it. He went to Detroit. He's having 2 phenomenal years since he's been in Detroit. So what do the Bears do? They don't have any running backs last year. And the ones they did have couldn't block or got injured. So they go out and spend a ton of money for DeAndre Swift, who can't run the ball up the middle. He is a typical outside running back.
He wants to bounce everything. Everything he wants to bounce.
Yes. So they spent all this money, and he's not really doing anything. You know, he might get if he has 3 good games, he could hit that 1,000-yard mark. But I think he's only averaging about 3.2 yards a carry.
Bottom third of the league, I would say, or I would assume with that.
Yeah. Let's see. I got it right here. 3.87 yards per carry. Sorry. It's still not enough to get a first down on 3 plays.
No. To me, if you're not averaging 4 yards a carry as a running back, you're not having a good year.
Yeah. So, you know, the Bears, you know, they go out and prioritize. They don't prioritize the right way. You know, you figure you got a rookie quarterback, you need to protect him. And what do the Bears do at the offensive line? They did 0. They didn't do shit. They hired. They signed
hurt this year.
Yeah, they were hurt or bad or cut. Like Nate Davis, Ryan Poles signed him to a huge contract, and they cut him. They're paying him to not play.
Yeah, and your rookie left tackle looks like he's a project.
Yeah, he's
definitely, or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, the kid from Yale. Yeah, he got Caleb almost killed in that first quarter.
I didn't realize he's a Yale kid. Yes, he did, and had a couple of holding penalties and a false start, and yeah, he was just having a bad. That was his first start, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, first start, and you had to play in a tough place, but at the same time, it's like you don't have anybody.
Yeah,
you know.
And yeah, was Cole Kmet hurt part of this year, or did you just not?
No, they just haven't passed to him. They have no plays designed for Cole Kmet, and that is all Shane Waldron right there. That was Shane Waldron's playbook. He just refused to include the tight end into the equation.
So is he standing to block a lot, or is he not on the field?
He's on the field, but there's just nothing designed to go his way. Usually, if they're blocking, they put in their backup tight end in there.
Oh, okay. So you have a blocking tight end.
Yeah. Let's see. I can tell you right now, Cole Kmet. Oh, let's see. What are his stats this year? Okay, stats this year. He's only had 43 receptions for an average of 10.74 yards a carry or for a catch, 3 touchdowns and
That's good for a
462
tight
yards
end.
catching.
I want to say he was close to 1,000 last year with Fields, though, wasn't he?
Last year in 2023, he had I can tell you right now, he had 719 yards. He also had 73 receptions.
Yeah, so he's down a third, at least a third, almost to a half in percent.
Yeah.
That's crazy too, because you would figure a tight end would be used with a rookie quarterback.
You would think so, but they're not utilizing him. Once again, it's all Shane Waldron right there.
They had a picture of, going back to Poles real quick. They had a shot of him in the press. He really looked like he was just about to cry.
Yeah,
I think he knows the writings on the wall for him too.
It's the guy that knows he's about to get shit canned.
Yeah. That's got to be a tough job, man, being a GM.
Unless you're good at it. But once again, the Bears don't like to hire guys that are proven. They hire these scouts from other teams that are like, oh, he would make a great GM. No, he wouldn't. No. Just because he looks like he could, he puts a suit on and he gives you some kind of jargon on how good he can do. The Bears they get duped every
He does look good in a suit.
He does.
I'll say that though. The man does look good in a suit.
He looks like he knows what he's
clean man.
He's a good actor. He makes it look like he knows what he's doing, and he really doesn't.
How long has he been there?
This is third year.
I'm just lucky. You know what I'm saying? We've had John Schneider before Pete, or you know what I'm saying? Since before Pete. So
yeah.
Spoiled.
Yeah, he got hired the same year that Eberflus got hired. And in that time, the Bears, okay, here's the stat that's going to blow your mind. The Bears have only, in the entire history of their organization, over 100 years, had eight seasons when they had, or 4 seasons with an 8-game losing streak. One was in 1978. One was in 2002.
Right before they fired Ditka.
Right. One was in 2002 when they had to drive from Chicago to Champaign to play at the University of Illinois while Soldier Field was being renovated.
And nobody went, right? Nobody went to the games either, if I'm not mistaken.
People went to the game, but the Bears lived and took a bus from Chicago to Champaign every Sunday morning. When they had
How far is that?
It's like 3 hours from Chicago.
3 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a 3-hour bus drive.
No wonder they fucking games. Fuck
yeah,
that, man.
So that year you're going to put an asterisk on it because they had to play at U of I. Okay. The other one happened in 2022, the first year that Poles and Eberflus were part of the Bears. And then another one this year. So Poles' GM holds 2 out of those 4 seasons of an 8-game losing streak.
And 22 was that was Justin Fields' second year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Going back to your whole, he got screwed, or not screwed, but Fields wasn't his guy.
Yep. Fields wasn't his guy. And they said that in the interview, and they did it anyways. They hired him anyways.
I feel for you. Like I say, I've been lucky. We've had John Schneider since before Pete Carroll. So,
but yeah,
before that, I couldn't tell you who it was because I didn't give a shit who a GM was back then.
whatever he's doing is working because Seattle's always in the mix. Even if they have, look at this year, they got a rookie head coach and they're still right there. Anything could happen. They got 3 games left. They got 1 win against the Bears. That they're going to beat the Bears.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see Thursday, but
yeah, it's a primetime game. The Bears can't play on primetime.
But it's at Chicago, though, right? Or is it here?
It doesn't matter. The Bears can't play at home anyways. They got 4 wins this year.
It's okay. We only have like 6. No, we have more than that. We have 7.
You got more than that.
No. We're not very good. I'm telling you, we're not very good.
Yeah, you're still better than the Bears, though. Let's see. Seattle's 8-6. They are right there with the Rams. It's going to be tough. The Rams are playing good.
No, yeah, we're tied. We're tied.
Yeah.
Well, and we play the Rams in the last game of the season too. That's what I'm saying. If we don't win that Bears game, we're not playing for the division title because we're not going to win this week. I think the Vikings are going to kick our ass because the Vikings, I think, have a better pass rush than Green Bay does.
Vikings got a good defense. Brian Flores is a hell of a defensive coach.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
that guy knows how to get his guys hyped up. I'm not gonna lie. Brian Flores reminds me of a lot of Mike Tomlin. They had that same demeanor, that whole I don't care about your hurt feelings. You're gonna go out and play fucking football, and if you don't like it, you're gonna sit.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he had a hard time in Miami. That's why I think he got fired in Miami, is because they was a touchy-feely organization. Oh, we got our players' feelings are hurt. Brian Flores is like, I don't give 2 shits. I just want to win fucking football.
Right. Well, they were incentivizing him for losing, trying to pay him extra money to fucking throw games.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But yeah, but he is a good defensive coordinator. He might be one of those guys, though. Maybe he really wasn't a good coach, because I do remember some fucking shit that was going on down there too. Like besides all that other stuff, like
Miami had a good season when he was coach there.
Yeah, that was the Tua Fitzpatrick year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love Fitzmagic, by the way. Love that guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Well, we went an hour there. So go Bears, go Seattle, even though we're both probably going to catch L's. And
probably
tentative meeting up for the game on Thursday then, right?
Yeah, well, let's plan on that.
Okay. Yeah. You don't have bowling that this week?
No, my wife does, but not me.
Okay, outstanding. So then we'll plan for Thursday.
Sounds good.
Hopefully we can catch up with Eric one of these days.
Hopefully, if he's alive still. I haven't heard from him in a couple of days.
Yeah, right. I haven't either. Well, I did get the text this morning that he dittoed your picks, so at least he was alive at 8:00 this morning.
Okay, well that's good.
All right. So we'll speak again next week, and yeah, I'm sure we'll talk throughout the games too.
Sounds good. Yeah, well, I'll get you the picks in before Christmas for next week.
Oh yeah, that works. All right. So thanks to the ones and the nuns that aren't watching anyways. Have a good week.
Talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good one.